Woot. Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Anyway, local league time. Today's Sunday league is on Saturday, so it's a little bit confusing, but the organizers have something to do tomorrow, so they're doing it today, and I'm warming up. So this episode is just going to be about this, because today we play the yellow layout, which is long, it's difficult, and yeah, that's kind of says it all. And before we go into the game, I have a goal in mind. I checked my statistics on this layout. It is 8 over par by average. Well, to be precise, 8.3. But so logically, that is going to be my goal today. If I get anything better than 8 over, I will be happy. Let's see. I'm going to make a putt. Like, this is where I landed. Oh no, the putting is not there yet. And today I feel like I didn't sleep the best, so the confidence is weird, the distance is off, and this iron hole 11, it's kind of showing it perfectly. Like, one of my shots was short, then I was thinking like same power, and it was like 20 meters longer. It has a tailwind here today, so this, let me fix this flag maybe, so that, no, turn around, no, needs too much effort. Anyway, let's jump into the game.
This time I started the league on hole 1, where similarly to the green layout, you have to hit the gate as it is a triple mendo. During my warm-up, the gate was not causing me problems, so of course, when it was time to play for the score, I missed it. Very badly. Others had their problems, but all of them managed to navigate the gate. Oh, in this round I played with Steve at Erkki, and new to the vlog was Dan. After my bad tee shot, I shamefully walked to the drop zone and actually attempted to get all the way up the hill. But for some reason my disc did not flip as I was expecting, and it started leaking to the left a little bit too early. I ended up on this tight little spot, and with a good upshot actually got my bogeys safe really nicely. Best of the group on this hole was Erkki. With a nice tee shot, he landed on the perfect spot on the fairway, right here. From there, sadly, he missed his line and needed some work to get to the green, but with a good putt, he still caught the par. Hole 2 is a beautiful looking downhill hole where there's OB left, right and long. For my shot, I hit my line perfectly, but as it left my hand, I already knew I did not put enough power into it and it landed short. I believe that I landed just inside the circle and had the chance for a birdie. I mistowed to the right and accepted the par, as every par on this course is actually good. Best of the group was again Erkki. He played the hole with a sidearm and he landed just about this width closer than me, but unlike me, he made the putt. Nice birdie.
Yes.
Hole 3 was a complete fiasco for me. For my tee shot, I did misread the wind and went with my normal line. The headwind caught the disc, and the disc sailed way over the right side to the OB. For my second shot, I decided that since the last shot went so early over the OB line, I would re-tee. I adjusted my shot, but still wasn't good enough and still went to the OB. This time around, it went a bit later over the line, so I advanced. From there, I had around 85 meters left, but I hit the line perfectly and glided through the wind so nicely. Landed in the bullseye. But I ended with a triple bogey. Yikes.
Oh no!
But we are moving on to hole 4. Already the second par 4 on this layout, and at this point I was feeling that today might not be my day. For my tee shot I went with the mid-range sidearm as it plays really well for it. Off the hand it was looking good, but midway of the flight it flipped up and went super straight. Danger! Landed in a difficult spot and had to make a standstill between very tight trees. Yes, I hit my hand against a tree here. Luckily I pulled my hand enough away and close to myself that I actually didn't damage. Next I had a weird footing spot. As you can see there's some car trucks over there and I was too much thinking about it. I pulled it and it didn't even get to the top of the hill there. Bummer. I was lucky it didn't actually go over it here, to be honest. But from here options are limited. Sidearm is the best option and I actually hit my line nicely, but too much nose up and it was way too short. Made 2 putts from there and collected a double bogey. It is starting to look really grim here. Best of the group was Dan. He used a backhand putter shot where he trusted the turn and it really went really well. From there he had a really nice shot, barely over the crest of the hill and most likely got a really nice skip as he landed just 5 meters off the basket. Successful putt and a good birdie for him. Going to hole 5, I already knew that if I don't get the birdie here, then I can say goodbye to any kind of okay result on that day. And of course I hit the first tree. The disappointment in my face is so obvious. Best of the group was, on this hole, Dan. He went with a slower disc that looked like a putter. Hit the gap with the perfect angle and that was a really good shot. Good shot was also from Steve, but he went long with this beautiful sidearm shot. Putting back is death putt, even though it is a beautiful camera angle, but sadly he didn't make it. Dan was much closer and made that putt look very easy.
So 5 baskets gone and my mood is gone as well. We're getting ready for the hole 6, waiting for the guys in front of us. They're taking so slow, freaking slow, and yeah, just trying to keep up my mood. It's not fun.
I could have not said it better than I did. Right now I was trying just to find my rhythm and have at least some kind of decent shots. It didn't happen on hole 6 though. Best shot of the group was from Dan again. He made it all the way up the hill and had this for his birdie. You can't make them all though, and everyone were tapping the results in after that. Hole 7 was bad for everyone. I actually had a semi-decent shot, but I missed my line a little bit and went so much to the right, but a late tree kicked me back. And I had this to try for birdie and actually was running this. Hole 8 was no different. I started to feel like why I'm not holding the disc and earlier releasing every time. Started to be confusing on what is happening. Best of the group was this time around Steve, as he used a really crazy line over the top. Was a question during the flight, but he landed nicely on the fairway and had a look for the birdie. But sadly his birdie attempt was poor, but he got the par from here. On hole 9 I was telling myself that I have to hold the disc and not early release it. You guessed it, I early released it again. From there I had some doing to get to the basket, but this jump putt was for my par and I was actually really close on making it. Best of the group was Steve once again. He had a nice drive even though he probably wanted a bit more distance on it. But his approach shot was very decent and managed to miss all the trees to have a look for the birdie. He missed it sadly though, and from here you can see all of us tapping out from this hole. Hole 10, and I did not early release this time around. But this time I was just way too low with my shot and didn't get uphill. On this hole it means extremely risky to attempt the basket with all the looming OBs, so I played it safe. Second upshot was pretty decent for a change and had a nice putt to get my par. Best of the group was Dan. For his tee shot he was a bit lucky, but lucky enough to get enough distance to attack the basket, but landed on a tricky spot. Standstill backhand was decent enough to give him a look from just outside the circle. His birdie putt was a little bit off and he was obviously disappointed about it. I was thinking that my game has been so bad already that I have to attack when I get the chance. Hole 11 is a good hole to attempt to get the ace, as more than 800 euros was on the line. So I was going for it. I liked the line of the hand, but I was once again way too low and did not even make it to the island. My par save was a good attempt, but it was low again, and once again a bogey. Best of the group was Dan. For his tee shot he went with the slow mid-range I believe and landed nicely on the island. For his birdie attempt he was close, but sadly not close enough. Hole 12 I didn't have any expectation and just wanted to have a decent shot. I overturned it again and was way off my intended line. There's nothing more to talk about me here. Best of the group was Dan, who went with a very nice line but was still a bit short. He had this for his birdie but ended with a par. On hole 13 I was early releasing it again, but this time around not so much because the disc was doing its work and actually glided to a spot where I had a chance to look for the birdie. And of course I missed my putt. Birdies were collected from Dan and Steve, who had really nice drives and deserved it. Hole 14 I decided to go with full power and see what happens. What happened was awful. I grip locked it so bad that it ended in a big number. The best of the group was this time around Erkki, who had this really nice look for the birdie, and he actually almost made it. It was so close. On hole 15 the wind was playing tricks with everybody, so I decided to go with a different disc, and it was the wrong disc. It was way short. My upshot was though perfect and landed on the bullseye, collecting my par. Just like everybody else, because like I said, the wind was tricky. Hole 16 was a tricky one again. For my tee shot, I was actually really lucky that I didn't hit any branches because it was way too high. My upshot was really bad. I went to the OB. From there it was really simple under the basket. But really good pass was from Erkki and Dan. They had really bad tee shots, but they had really similar ways. Here we see Erkki closing in from way out to the mouth of the OB lines, and from there they made the upshots and then they made the putts. Really well done, guys. And we have already reached hole 17. Here I had early release again, but once again for my luck it didn't go OB. So I had this look. I was like, okay, I'm going to run this, and it was so close. It was so close. So I had this to save my par, and that was actually a really good putt. Best of the group was Dan once again. Once he released it, he was feeling like it was wide. You can see his body language. He wasn't really happy, but it was close enough. And that was a really nice attempt, just a little bit too high, and sadly he didn't collect his birdie because he was fighting for the win in the elite division. And we have reached the last hole. Yes, this shot actually went OB, even though it looks good. It went just a little bit OB, but it doesn't matter. More important is about Dan and Steve, because they were fighting for the win in their divisions. First up was Dan. Sadly his shot went OB, it didn't even reach the playground. Steve shot was decent, but he was staying so far away that birdie was out of the question. So Dan progressed to the drop zone, which is those two little sticks, and this shot almost went in. Kind of sad. And here we saw Erkki collecting his nice birdie, Steve putting in his par, which collected him the win in Division 2, and Dan collecting the bogey gave him the second place in Division 1.
So this finishes the league, and yeah, I played so bad, but two guys from my group finished in top 2 in their divisions. You probably already know that, probably I talked about it, but yeah, the main problem is I have no feeling right now. I don't know, my body is not listening to me. I think the 1 week of doing absolutely nothing has left its own mark, but there's no excuses. I did putting. My putting was below average, but I didn't really have, I would actually say I didn't even concentrate about it. Like right now after the game, I'm not, when I try to remember, did I have any difficult putts? Yes, I had, but I don't really think about it that much. But it's a good thing. But main thing what I tried to do on this game today was I tried to keep up the mood, and in my mind I was all the time thinking like, don't bring the mood down on other players, because it's not their fault that I'm playing so bad. And this is something that I think everybody should think about, even you probably, or you, that sometimes when you're playing bad, it's not other group mates' fault. Just try to keep up the mood, and it is what it is. That's why we play here in our local leagues, not in a pro tour in US or somewhere else in Euro Tour or something, because we don't have the consistency, and it is what it is, and you just have to accept it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my misery, even though the weather got actually really windy and really cold. Right now I can feel in my back of my head some chilly wind, but the weather forecast is really positive for the coming week, and we will see what will happen. Today I still have to do my putting training because it's still so early in the morning, and yeah, see you next week, and bye. Have a beautiful day.